Hello everyone, my name is Aubrey and today I'm going to be doing my October book haul. It is quite a large book haul. My boyfriend and I, a couple of weekends ago, decided to venture out into the world for the first time since all of, COVID started. We were very careful. We wore masks, we social distanced, we sanitized, we were really good. But we have just been cooped up for so long and both of us really miss book shopping. So we hit up a few of our local used bookstores and such, and we went a little bit overboard. I think I went a little more overboard than he did, but yeah, so I have a lot of books to show you guys. They are in two genres, so I have a little stack of sci-fi to show you, and I have a giant stack of horror / Stephen King to show you. So I'm going to start with the sci-fi books and work my way up to horror, and yes, I hope you enjoy the video. So the first book I picked up and was so excited to find is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I got this for a whole $5. I've been watching a lot of Books with Leo, and now every time I look at this book, all I can think about is her calling it the book about gays in space. So that's kind of all I know about it. I know that it has kind of this cast of characters, this diverse cast of characters on a spaceship trying to get to a small angry planet. I'm not really sure. I hear this is kind of slow and character driven, but it sounds so lovely, and I have just heard really good things about it from, multiple different sources and booktubers that I really trust. So I really want to get to it, and I love this kind of cheesy sci-fi cover. I don't know, I just really appreciate it. So, and it also won a Hugo Award, so that's cool. The next book is Fairest by Marissa Meyer. If you guys saw my August and September wrap up, you'll know that I have been reading the Lunar Chronicles series. I finished Cress last month, and I could have sworn that I already had this book in ebook form. I thought that I had purchased it when it was severely discounted. And then come to find out that I in fact didn't have it. And so I finished Cress, and I was literally going to pick it up right then and there, because I've been really interested to read this one, because I think, Levana is just such a interesting character, and I really want to know kind of her backstory. So I went online and found myself a used copy on Amazon for fairly cheap. I am excited to continue on with this series. I've been having a lot of fun with it. The next book I picked up is The Power by Naomi Alderman. This was a favorite book of Obama's back in 2017. And I think this is just supposed to be a very important book. It's about a world where one day everybody wakes up and suddenly girls have developed this power. I think it's kind of an electric power. And so suddenly women are more powerful than men. And I think that it kind of explores what a world like that would look like. And I'm not sure where I heard this, but I think there was a tag that I read somewhere. It doesn't appear to be on the book, but I had read it somewhere, that she's kind of trying to make the point that it's not about gender, it's about power and how power corrupts. So I am really interested in reading this just because it sounds really important. So the next book I picked up is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. And this was on my radar because I really love dystopians. It's just one of my favorite genres, and I think this is kind of a pretty famous dystopian, kind of a modern dystopian apocalyptic book. But what encouraged me to buy it is that Daniel Green just made a video recently about his top 3 favorite non-SFF books, and this book was on that list, even though I suppose dystopian and apocalyptic I think are technically sci-fi. But I think this is supposed to be more of a realistic apocalyptic book. From what I know, it's about a father and a son who are just trying to get to a safe place in this apocalyptic world and all of the, I don't know, terrible, disturbing things that they find along the way. I don't know that much about it, but I am definitely interested to read it. So you're going to notice a theme with the next two books. The next book is Fahrenheit 451. I've actually never read this. I never had to read it in school. I feel like that's usually when people read this book, but I never did. Classic dystopian. It's about book burning, I think. So yeah, I really want to and need to read this. And the next book I picked up is Wool by Hugh Howey, and again, this is a dystopian, but I don't actually know anything about this, and I don't think I want to. It seems like the kind of book that you want to go into blind, and so that's what I plan to do. I know this is kind of famous for having started out as a self-published book, and then I think it got picked up by a publishing company, not sure, but it's supposed to be really good and I am excited to read it. So the next book is Sleeping Giants. I found this for a whole $5 without the dust jacket, and I don't mind because I think that the book all on its own is absolutely beautiful. This is by Sylvain Nouvel. From what I know about this book, it's about a little girl who falls into a hole and wakes up inside of a giant metal hand. And this giant metal hand is very mysterious. And she grows up to become a physicist so that she can study the mystery of this hand because nobody's been able to figure it out. And I think it's kind of a sci-fi thriller. I hear that the books are really fast-paced. There's a lot of twists and turns and stuff. Yeah, I was absolutely thrilled to find this. I have been dying to read the series, so hopefully I will be able to find the next two books for a good price, and then I will binge read the whole thing. And then the last book in my little sci-fi pile is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. And this is technically a thriller, but I've heard that it has a sci-fi twist at the end. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what I've heard, and I don't know much else about it, but again, I think I kind of want to just go into this blind and sort of see where it takes me. But yeah, this is such a great cover, isn't it? Just so creepy. This was a whole $3. Okay, so those were all of the sci-fi books I had to show you, and now I'm going to be getting into my giant horror pile. The first book I had to talk about is The Girl with All the Gifts. This I got for a whole $5, and it looks absolutely brand new. I don't know what this is about. I don't want to know what this is about. I'm going to read you the inside flap because I just think it's so intriguing. Every morning, Melanie waits in her cell to be collected for class. When they come for her, Sergeant Parks keeps his gun pointed at her, while two of his people strap her into the wheelchair. She thinks they don't like her. She jokes that she won't bite, but they don't laugh. Melanie is a very special girl. And man, this just sounds so good. Joss Whedon blurbed, he says, heartfelt, painfully human. And then on the back he says, as fresh as it is terrifying, it left me sighing with envious joy, a jewel. So I think this is kind of an older book. I think it was like a big deal a few years ago, but I haven't read it yet. I think there's a movie, haven't seen the movie. But yeah, I am really, really excited to get to this, hopefully this month. The next book I picked up was My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. First of all, is absolutely so beautiful. I showed this off in my October TBR, but in case you haven't seen that, I just think the packaging of this book is incredible. I love that it looks like an old VHS tape. It just makes me happy. Anyway, this is kind of a campy horror book about two best friends in the 80s where one friend gets possessed by a demon and the other friend has to save her. This just looks like so much fun, and I am excited to get to it. Next few books we picked up at Ollie's, so these are new books, but they were, severely discounted. And the first one is The Complete Fiction of H.P. Lovecraft, and I was motivated to pick this up, one, because it is spooky season, but two, because in August I read Lock and Key, which takes place in Lovecraft, Massachusetts, and then last month I read Lovecraft, Country, which is being made into an HBO show. So I don't know, I guess that just made me kind of curious to read some good old school H.P. Lovecraft, because I haven't, but I am kind of interested to see sort of what this would be like. When I saw this for a whole $8, I decided to pick it up. And then my boyfriend actually picked these up for me. They are the Buffy the Vampire Slayer omnibuses. They're out of order, of course they are. 4, 5, and 6. So I think these are supposed to be read kind of in conjunction with the show. So there are 7 of these omnibuses and there are 7 seasons of Buffy. So I think, you know, each omnibus is full of short stories that correlate with the show itself. I am so excited to have these. Buffy is my absolute favorite show of all time. So these are really, really fun, and the next time that I rewatch it, I will be reading these along with the show, and I'm just really, really excited about them. And then the next 2 books my boyfriend also bought for the both of us, I guess. He bought The Secret History of Twin Peaks and The Final Dossier, a novel, Twin Peaks. I don't know too much about these, but we're both big fans of the original show. Neither of us ever actually carried on with the new seasons, but we plan to do that eventually. I guess he just wanted to pick these up to see what they were about, but I thought I'd show them off, so. Now I'm down to an absolutely enormous stack of Stephen King books. I am probably just going to go through these pretty quickly because I don't know what all of them are about. In my defense, I did not buy all of these. My boyfriend and I are collecting the hardcover Stephen King books together, so I bought some of them and he bought some of them, but I'm just going to show them all to you. If I know anything about them, I will mention what I know, but otherwise I'm just going to kind of, you know. First one is The Shining. This is like a newer cover. I think most people are pretty familiar with The Shining. And then we have Firestarter. I love this cover. This is such a cool cover. I think this is one of those like classic kids with like psychic abilities, King trope type books. And then we have Skeleton Crew and Rose Madder. Nightmares and Dreamscapes. This one is in such good condition. I feel like we just got so lucky with some of these being in amazing condition, which is why we went crazy. The Tommyknockers. This one's about aliens, I think, and I hear it's not very good. Thinner. This is one of the Richard Bachman books. 11/22/63. This one is kind of like an alternative history one. I hear it's really good, so I am excited to read this one. Insomnia. I am not that excited to read this one, but I hear that it kind of ties into his Dark Tower series, so. And this one also is just in such good condition. I feel like I've never seen a copy of Insomnia in this good of condition. They're always beat up. Finders Keepers. This is the second book in his Mr. Mercedes trilogy. Night Shift. And my boyfriend and I had never seen a cover of Night Shift like this. So we decided to pick it up because it's kind of cool. And last but not least, Sleeping Beauties that he co-wrote with Owen King. So yeah, that was my October book haul. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've picked up any good books this month, either ones that you've purchased or gotten from the library. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and like this video if you liked it. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next time. Bye!